वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Chapter 2, verse 64-65 continue. Ragadvesha viyuktaistu Ragadvesha viyuktaistu विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादम् अधिगच्छति प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते But a self-controlled yogi in practice or striver while using objects with the senses which are controlled and free from attraction and aversion, he attains placidity of mind. With the attainment of such placidity, all his sorrows come to an end, and the intellect of such a person of tranquil mind soon becomes firmly established in God. Sthita pragnasya ka bhasha. Okay, so enhancement of either placidity or uneasiness for God enables a striver to realize God. Okay, I don't know exactly this what I'm going to share with you now is related with one of the saints of Guru, but we need to understand the essence, okay? And that's I am going to share you with in this context which I read now. Enhancement of either placidity or uneasiness for God. Uneasiness for God enables a striver to realize God. So what happened? So either it could be a saint and his devotee, or Guru and his disciple. Both were in the river taking bath. Once upon a time, That was a normal and natural way to take bath. We are now with the shower bath or the bathtub. So both were taking bath, and that's how the guru used to impart the knowledge. Nothing that formal classes and okay, children, we are going to study today geography. We are going to learn the map of Africa continent. No such thing like that. It just goes smooth life, and the disciple will not know even when he got the knowledge. So all of a sudden, the disciple asked, how can I realize God? So what happened? As I told you, both were taking bath in the river. Definitely not slippery fish. Okay. So Guru just push him in the water. And the disciple was literally battling to survive. After a few seconds, he pulled him back. So Guru asked, when you were under the water, what was your first and final urge? The disciple answered, I just want to leave. I just want to save myself. That was an only urge when I was in the water. Guru answered, that kind of urge should be there always in your mind for God. Then and then only. Otherwise, there are no certain syllabus. So, okay, all of you understand Gujarati, so let me better explain this in Gujarati, right? Okay. આપણને ભૂખ લાગે, right? Right? આપણને તરસ લાગે. તરસ means thirst. Bhuk means hunger, right? Similarly, આપણને ભક્તિ લાગવી જોઈએ. That should be there in our life to realize or to attain God. Here it says, either placidity or uneasiness for God enables a striver to realize God. And the best example is Gopi and Bhagwan Krishna, which is described in Bhagavad in the canto 10, in the chapter 29, and the verses are 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so let me read the Sanskrit original words, what it says. Antargruhagataha kaschit गोप्यो लब्धविनिर्गमः कृष्णं तद्भावनायुक्ता दध्योर्मिलितलोचना दुःसह प्रेष्ठविरह तीव्रतापधुता शुभः ध्यानप्राप्ताच्युताश्लेष निवृत्त्या क्षीणमङ्गलः तमेव परमात्मानं जारबुद्ध्यापि सङ्गता जहुर्गुणमयं देहं सद्यः प्रक्षीणबन्धनः. What happened to the gopi? Okay, gopi were eager to meet Krishna Bhagwan, to be with Krishna Bhagwan, to be in the proximity of Krishna Bhagwan. So what happened? As per this verse, the gopis were locked up by their husbands, brothers, or parents, and prevented from meeting Bhagwan Krishna. The uneasiness to meet Bhagwan Krishna destroyed their sins, and the placidity of mind by meditation on God destroyed their virtues. Thus, being free from sins and virtues and leaving their bodies, they were the first to meet God. But in the worldly affairs, placidity and uneasiness of mind lead a man to bondage and strengthen the bondage, because his aim is to enjoy the worldly pleasures. The living example are common worldly people who are entangled in the worldly snare because of placidity and uneasiness in mundane affairs. So there is a word always we see, raga dvesh, either attachment or we hate. Both are not expected in the path of spirituality. You just be there. You just accept it. You must have urge for that. That's it. To meet, to connect yourself with the Supreme Soul. Rest will fall in place. That is important. That is important. Okay. The inner self is overwhelmed in placidity and uneasiness, just as the color which is added to liquid wax becomes a permanent part of it. What they have given the example, the inner self. Okay. In the same way, whatever thoughts are put into the overwhelmed inner self, this become a permanent part of it and lead the striver to salvation or to dimension. Mind, Bhagavan Krishna has emphasized so many times, Mayeva Manadatsva Man. And we have discuss even that when we were discussing about Maneva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Moksha as per the Amrit Bindu Upanishad. That very reason, because by now at least you know that we have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, okay, or you can say active mind and inactive mind. That very reason our sages, our elderly, used to emphasize, okay, when you go to sleep, Bhagwan Naam Levano. Keep on chanting Ram, 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 Ram. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Or it can be anything. It can be anything. Because that thought, what is the last thought, that's going to be there in subconscious mind. And similarly, it has written here, becomes a permanent part on it. Unfortunately, before sleep, we have WhatsApp, we have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have Instagram. So that image is going to be established here. Small thing, I mean, initially when we didn't know, and our parent, as a matter of custom or tradition or so-called family rule, there is a reason behind it. When you get up, start your day with the prarthana. Remember God and start your day. When you retire, when you go to sleep, remember God. So there's a science behind it, said the science. Therefore, a striver should neither be pleased nor displeased, while gaining or losing the most charming objects of the world. Pasade sarvadukhanam hani rasyobhajayate. The whole idea, what Bhagwan Krishna says is, you just be the witness. Accept it. Accept it. Accept it. There are two divisions, Bhoga and Yoga. Okay? Bhog, all that material world's enjoyment, all the sensual enjoyment. And yoga, yes, we have discussed so many times. Yoga used to join, establish a connection with individual self to the universal self. Okay. So if a bhogi, having attachment and aversion, dwells upon the objects of senses, he goes to ruin, to fall. But if a yogi, freed from attachment and aversion, utilizes sense objects, he does not go to ruin, rather he attains God. The same world, the saints, the yogi, the developed soul, they're living in the same world in which we are living. But the whole idea is they don't get attached, or they do not allow to develop hatred in their mind or in their nature. It's okay. So the same world, what it says here, does not go to ruin, rather, he attains God. A person freed from likes and dislikes does not enjoy and relish pleasures because it is not his aim. He doesn't get stuck with the pleasure. He doesn't get stuck with the pain either. He utilizes the sense objects without coming under the sway of attachment. He just uses it. Having the sense of detachment, therefore, he attains placidity, purity of mind. The use of sense objects with the sense of renunciation is indeed not bhoga. I repeat what it says. The use of sense objects with the sense of renunciation is indeed not bhoga. He just use it. And that's why I told so many times, Shankaracharya also will eat the jalebi. And he will also say it's meaty. Good. That's it. But he doesn't allow himself to stuck with that meaty, delicious jalebi. No. And we get stuck with that. Right. From the viewpoint of people, it appears that he is using sense objects. Therefore, here the expression Visyan's Charan has been used. By being free from attachment and aversion, placidity of mind is attained. Neither pain nor the pleasure, neither attachment nor the aversion. There should be cheerfulness every time. There should not be any distress. There should not be monotony. Is prasad. We have only one definition. Prasad means soji. this is this is the real prasad as per philosophical explanation. This is prasad. What is prasad? How is defined here? Placidity of mind, purity of mind. If a striver is not satiated with this placidity and he does not enjoy it, it will very quickly lead him to God realization. Take you. Prasad. It will take you. Now, verse next 66. नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयतः शान्तिर् न चाभावयतः शान्तिर् अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम् अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्. He who has not controlled his mind and senses can have no determinate intellect, nor can such an undisciplined man have a sense of duty. A man without having a sense of duty can have no peace, and how can there be happiness for one lacking peace? Bhagavan Krishna clarifies the point of view expressed in the previous two verses by negative inference. Okay. Nasti buddhir ayuktasya na chayuktasya bhavana na cha bhavada shantir ashantasya kutah sukham. How can there be happiness for one lacking peace? Pachi Om Dyo Shanti Antariksha Shanti. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. And Shanti is not a purchasable commodity. It's not in the Pick and Pay or Woolworths that you Pick and Pay. You have to, look, now I don't have to repeat, but still, since it goes on YouTube, I have to clarify when say you means we. We have to go through that proper channel. And that is Nasti Buddhir Ayuktasya. Na Chayuktasya Bhavana. Na Cha Bhavada Shantir Ashantasya Kutah Sukham. He who has not controlled his mind and senses, and must control mind and senses, can have no determinate intellect. Let me say, it doesn't work like that. There must be a determinate intellect. Nor can such an undisciplined man have a sense of duty. A man without having a sense of duty can have no peace. Then what does he have? What does he has? Not the peace, but pieces. So now the choice is ours, whether we are living for peace or pieces. In the discipline of disinterested action, control over the mind and senses is important. Disinterested action means selfless work. Selfless work and selfless love. No hidden agenda. Absolutely no hidden agenda. Be it a family or be it so-called social service. Because without control, desire persists, and with the persistence of desire, the mind does not get fixed. For the sake of doing, or for the sake of name, fame, and glory, we do it. In the eyes of world or the society, that we have done selfless work. But back of the mind,
it's 20 hours.
We expect this to be acknowledged. And that's very thing described here. desire persists, and with the persistence of desire, the mind does not get fixed. Because that sprout of desire or sprout of get that credit or get that words of thanks or sprout of acknowledgement, and for that mind does not get fixed. Therefore it is obligatory for a striver following the discipline of action to control his mind and senses. Just did it. I served, that's it. He's my fellow brother. He's my fellow sister. It's my duty to serve the community or the society. I did it. Because Bhagwan has blessed me with something extra. And I did it. That's it. But the moment there is a sprout of acknowledgement stays in the mind, it will not allow to control the mind. What happened to the man who has not controlled his mind and senses is explained in this verse. Nasti buddhir ayuktasya. He who has not controlled his mind and senses cannot have determinate intellect. Without change of the sense of I, means egoism, senses are not controlled. We need to minus this I. I. Have determinate intellect that he has only to realize God. Because he indulges in worldly pleasures and seeks prosperity. He develops desire for riches, honor, and bodily comforts, etc. These numerous desires keep his intellect obsessed and do not allow him to have a stable intellect. Here we are discussing about sthita prajna, the stable intellect, stayed in wisdom. Na chayuktasya bhavana. He whose intellect is not determinate cannot have the feeling that he has to discharge his duty, he has to perform his duty by renouncing attachment and desire, etc. Because he has not fixed the aim of his life. We have forgotten the aim, why we are here in this world. Nacha bhavayatah shantir. The man who does not discharge his duty efficiently and sincerely can have no peace, whosoever he may be. Okay. Mark this line, mark these words. The man who does not discharge his duty efficiently and sincerely can have no peace, whosoever he may be. Ashantasya kutah sukham. How can he who lacks peace be happy. He cannot be happy because his heart is filled with agitation and commotion. Despite acquiring all agreeable sense objects, his mental perturbation cannot be wiped out. In other words, cannot be happy. Cannot be happy. Ashantasya kutah sukham. So basically, the whole thing is must have peace of mind. And once that is there, then everything will fall in place. For the peace of mind, we need to duty without expectation. And for that, we have to control our mind and senses. Okay. So, with this note, we're going to conclude today's discussion. Okay. In today's discussion, whatever you like, credit goes to all the saints, all the scripture, whatever I have heard, I have read, I have studied. Absolutely nothing belongs to me. And as we know that our main reference book is Swami Ram Sukdas Ji's Sadhak Sanjeevani. Well, 73rd verse of 18th chapter. Nashto moha srutirlabdha tat prasadan mayachyuta sthitosme gata sandeha karishyeh vachanan tava.